Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Lara. Um, Today I'm going to be blogging about prescription pills. I know a lot of you out there are on prescription pills or are suffering from addiction because of prescription pills. And I don't just mean street pills, like I mean, doctors prescribed them to you and you got addicted. Um, I myself have suffered for about 2 years now from severe Xanax addiction. I would get a 45-day supply that would last probably 4 days. And when that would happen, I'd end up being rushed to the emergency room um, because I would go in, seizures. Because that's what happens when you stop taking Xanax cold turkey. You can get really bad seizures and you can die. They say it's worse to get off of than heroin, actually, because it's psychological and physical. Um, I mean, it's the absolutely most terrifying feeling ever, knowing that this pill has control over your body and that even though your mind wants to get off of it, your body can't let you get off of it. But again, today I'm talking about prescription pills and I'm also going to include Adderall. Now give me 1 second while I plug my computer in. Here we go. Okay. When I was 11 years old, I got prescribed, I was in 5th grade, I got prescribed amphetamine salts, which is Adderall, and I was put on 20 milligrams. Now, keep in mind that at 10 years old, 10, 11 years old, I was only like 80 pounds maybe, so 20 milligrams of amphetamine is a lot. I mean, that's a lot for even people my size now, or, the average size person. And I was only in 5th grade. Like, they thought I had ADHD because I wasn't paying attention. Like, no, I was just a kid. Like, I wasn't, I didn't have any friends in school. I was new. And the worst part was I had gone to a therapist about some neurotic breakdown that might have been happening with me. And for some reason, she prescribed Adderall, which is a stimulant, and it just made it even worse. So I don't get that at all, but that's a whole other story. Um, when they first put me on the Adderall, like, of course you feel good, you feel great, but I was 5th grade. Like, I was in 5th grade. I couldn't get anything done because I didn't really have ADHD. I just kept focusing on like stupid little things like playing with my toys, organizing my toys, but I still didn't do any homework. And I started noticing problems where walking up the hill, I was exhausted, just a little hill up the way to the school, and just little things like walking up steps, I became exhausted, and it was horrible. I would wake up in the morning and I'd have like racing heartbeat, like 150, 160 for no apparent reason. I'd sit up, I started getting tachycardia. Um, they kept me on this drug all the way up until college. By college, I stopped using them. I kept getting the prescription just to satisfy my parents, but I just wouldn't use them. Um, Unfortunately, like, getting off Adderall showed what it had done to me. And it had done some really, really, really bad things to me. One, I could barely walk anywhere without being exhausted. I was in ROTC at the time, and I was doing terrible during my PT tests because I could hardly run, even though I was running every single day to try and get up to where I needed to be. I was just exhausted all the time. I found that I had to constantly drink energy drinks just to keep that high that Adderall had given me before. And by doing so, I was damaging my heart really badly. And around this time, I had read that, the whatever's Canada's version of the FDA is, banned Adderall, um, including prescription pills, from their country because like 10 or 11 children, dropped dead of heart failure or heart attack. Um, and that terrified me. Like, how how can the drug companies keep prescribing these pills that are endangering people without really doing any full tests? The worst thing that happened to me with Adderall was actually I was getting heart pains, a lot of heart pains, and I ended up with a mitral valve collapse or something like that. It's not like fatal or anything, but it causes extreme discomfort sometimes. Um, but the absolute worst thing that happened was the anxiety and the panic attacks. Those were absolutely horrible. I couldn't go a day without getting a panic attack. I mean, it hits you hard, like your heart starts beating and pounding, and you start thinking you're gonna have a heart attack. You feel like you're gonna die. You can't breathe. Like your throat closes up like an asthma attack almost. Sometimes you get like claustrophobic and you feel like you need to go running like out of the room. That's which is what I would do. I would like go outside and go for a walk and try and make it stop. It got to the point where I couldn't sleep anymore. I had insomnia where I never had insomnia before. It was absolutely awful. So I was prescribed Ambien to help me sleep. Ambien, it does work. Just please don't stay awake on it or you will do crazy things. I learned that the hard way. I was using it recreationally, which I shouldn't have been doing. But alcoholism runs in my family, and unfortunately, I got the alcoholism from my dad, but I don't like alcohol, so I got instead dependency on pills for recreational use, unfortunately. Um, but with the Ambien, you will build a tolerance, so you want to stay away from that. Um, so what eventually um, happened is these panic attacks became so outrageous that I went online and I looked up and I couldn't believe how many sources I found of people suffering the same exact thing as me: tiredness, addiction to energy drinks, and then heart pains, people who had panic attacks, anxiety, increased anxiety, awful, horrible panic attacks. And it was at that point that I went to my doctor and I said, "Look, I'm never going to take this pill again. You're never going to prescribe it to me again." And he gave me Xanax. And so began basically the destruction of my life from my freshman year of college up until now, my junior year of college. Um, I'll be right back. I'm actually going to go grab the bottle so you can see them. Okay. Um, well, this is what it is. It's called alprazolam. My prescription is 1.5 daily, but I tend to take more than that because my panic attacks are so bad. But I don't know. You'll probably see them in there. I also do take Klonopin. Klonopin helps. It's a longer active medication, but it's not addictive or not as addictive as Xanax is, and you don't get really any physical dependency on it. I actually do have a bottle of Klonopin somewhere in my apartment. Um, but like the main problem with the Xanax is something called rebound anxiety. When you stop taking Xanax cold turkey, again, there are seizures and things like that, and you can die. But there's also what's called rebound anxiety, and the rebound anxiety can last for a couple of days. It can last for weeks. It can take months, really. You just basically feel like panic attack over after panic attack after panic attack, and my panic attacks are rolling panic attacks, where they go on like all day. Like it'll slow down and stop, and then it'll start up again, and it's horrible. Um, so I mean, like I feel basically hopeless right now, like absolutely hopeless. And I mean, another reason that got me hooked on Xanax too was around the time he prescribed it. When I got off Adderall, I found out that I had a brain tumor, an inoperable brain tumor. I don't really feel like getting much into that right now. Maybe I'll blog about that tomorrow or something. Um, but I was really depressed and all that kind of stuff. I'm on Lexapro and whatnot, and it just like was horrible. And I mean, it was around that time that I started like taking pain pills that didn't belong to me. I would steal them from my dad and just do anything I could to take a pill to help me relax and release anxiety and not think about like the tumor and everything. Um, but with the Xanax, again, the rebound anxiety, it's horrible. It's like literally a vicious circle. You start taking it, and maybe you have like small anxiety problem, small panic attack problem, not really a huge thing. You get hooked. Maybe you've been on it now for like 6 or 7 months. You try to stop it, or you lose your supply, or it gets stolen, whatever. You're screwed. You're screwed. It's most insurances don't cover lost or stolen prescriptions, and you're basically screwed. And or if you become an addict like I did, and your prescription ends, and you clean out your prescription like 4 days in, you're screwed. Like you're gonna suffer. It's gonna be horrible, absolutely horrible. Like you'll feel sick. You feel like you have a cold. You feel trembling. The panic attacks will be worse than you've ever had them. Um, I don't know why that the FDA keeps allowing these drugs to be on the market when there's other ones like Klonopin that are stronger actually than Xanax. They just don't hit you as fast, and they last for like 8 hours, and they don't make you loopy or dopey like Xanax does. They leave you normal basically, and I don't understand. I mean, obviously it's because it's for the money, drug business, the money. Keep them hooked, keep them paying. It's basically what it is. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's really like I just like want to warn everyone like when you go into your psychologist or psychiatrist, and if your psychiatrist tries to prescribe you things like Xanax, like don't refuse it, please. Like this is a plea for me. Like I have been to like the bottom. Like I've lost my entire family to Xanax. I lost I dropped out of college because of Xanax. I am going back now that I've got it under control. Um, I lost all of my friends. I lost my ex-boyfriend. Um, I mean, I lost my job. It's horrible. Like I lost my car too. Everything I had is gone because of Xanax. I'm begging you, like request some kind of substitution like Klonopin, and never ever get sucked into the Xanax circle. It's something you never want to get into. But yeah, that's and the same thing with Adderall. If a doctor tries to prescribe you Adderall, request something different, something that's a stimulant but less of a stimulant, um, because again, it's really bad for your heart and it can kill you because it has killed before. So, if because a lot of people might not have a pre-existing heart condition, and they take Adderall and they die because they never knew they had that heart condition. So, you know, I mean, my personal opinion is if you're going to prescribe Adderall to someone, have them get like a I forget what it is it EKG for the heart? I forget. Have an EKG done on the heart and see if it's healthy and whether it's safe to take amphetamine, you know? It's just, there's so many things that hospitals and doctors do that just, I don't get. I really don't get it. Um, but again, I am a prisoner of the drug companies and hoping to break free soon. So, and if there's any listeners out here who also are prisoners of the drug company, I hope that you're able to get out as well. And to those of you who are free right now, stay away from that prison, please. That prison. Oh my God. Hold on 1 second. That prison, it's everywhere. It's at every pharmacy. It's in Walmarts. It's on every prescription pad. And that prison, it looks like this. Whether it's Xanax, whether it's opiates, whether it's Ambien, whether it's that new sublingual Ambien, whether it's amphetamines, whether it's morphine, anything like that, Dilaudid. Stay away from it, please. If you like to smoke, I don't smoke pot personally. It's not my thing, and I don't really drink alcohol either. Not my thing as well. But if you do happen to smoke or drink, if you drink, please be careful. Because again, if alcoholism runs in your family, you need to be careful. Because again, it runs in my family. Um, my cousin was an alcoholic, and she actually ended up killing herself because of alcohol. Um, but please just like be safe, safe on it, and I think it'll be okay. And just follow the directions that if you do end up getting prescribed Xanax or painkillers or amphetamines, just follow the description on the bottle. Please don't take more than you should because you're gonna regret it. But I guess that's all I have to say for now. It's a bit late here, so I'm gonna get off. Maybe go to sleep. Bye. And I look forward to hearing your comments as well as my next video, which will be on who knows? Okay, bye. Bye, everyone.